What's going on, everybody? It's your health and fitness specialist, Kelly Brown. Okay, next thing is my plans for competing. So I plan on competing again in 2018. I sat down and I did a lot of thinking about this because this was a lot for me. So to make a long story short, I'm going to do it. All right, I'm going to get back on stage. My main problem with competing again was, one, like I said, it was very expensive. And I had some credit card bills and stuff that I need to get down. But fortunately, I'm starting to make some more money this year. So that's definitely helping me out a lot to get rid of some of that pre-existing debt so I can take on some more stuff from competing and getting ready and, you know, eating more. So because, you know, just if anybody who's competed, they know that eating food is very expensive. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you got to eat to grow rather than just eating on a regular lifestyle. Shoot, some of y'all eat out 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? So you know that's expensive when you break it down. And I gotta take that type of money and use it to stretch me over the week. You know what I'm saying? So that's, you know, that definitely can get into the pocket. But I figured out how I'm gonna do it. So I broke the, you know, of course I got the supplements now. I got them on my team. Made myself a meal plan. So I'm gonna raise my calories to 4,000 calories, and I'm gonna manage that from when I start getting ready, and I think I'm gonna start getting ready in March. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna manage that 4,000 calories. I already did my my TDEE, and I realized that I need taking that many calories just to, you know, start growing. And right now I'm about 207, and I just want to get up to like 215, you know, 217 or so. That way, like those last 2 weeks when I really dropped the weight for the show, because I'm probably gonna lose about 10 pounds before I get on stage, just on water and fat and stuff like that. When I drop my like right around peak week, because I'm gonna have to really just be on my asparagus and whiting for those last 2 weeks and cut my carbs out. So I know I'm gonna drop weight, but I want to make sure that when I drop weight, I drop down to this body shape, this weight now. So I'm gonna put on weight and then come back down to this weight. So, you know, I didn't know how I was going to do it before, because my past shows, I just get on stage at whatever I feel like. But right now, I'm realizing that I'm going to have to really put on some size to be able to compete with these guys in the NPC. I don't plan on competing anymore with natural organizations just because I personally don't really care for the way that they're ran. For myself, you know, I definitely encourage anybody who's just starting off to start off in a natural organization first to get your feet wet. But as far as me, like the place that I'm at now, I feel like once I won my pro card, I kind of accomplished that journey and I accomplished that goal. And just certain things are kind of tricky for me because I won in men's physique, where a lot of, you know, afterwards, after speaking to the judges and stuff, they really told me that I was too big for men's physique and natural organizations. But at the same time, you know, when I went out and did my next shows after that, I realized that the guys who I was on stage with were a lot smaller than I was. And so, you know, they were kind of rewarding smaller guys, which is strange because in NPC they normally reward bigger guys. But if, you know, I don't want to limit myself, and what I was doing before was not working out certain body parts so that I could fit into that category. Hence why my legs were lacking, because, you know, they didn't want me being too big and my shorts couldn't be too tight on my legs, and, you know, they would penalize people for having big legs and just certain things. I didn't want to look like a bodybuilder in a men's physique category, because they definitely penalize you for looking like that. They tell you, no, you look too much like a bodybuilder, and that's what was happening to me. So you know, for me, I want to just continue to grow, and I want to do what my body wants to do. And because of that, I would only be best suited for either competing as a bodybuilder in a natural organization or competing in the NPC in something like classic physique. The only problem with competing as a bodybuilder in a natural organization is that even though I won my pro card, I can't just jump and say, hey, I want to compete as a bodybuilder, but I got a pro card in men's physique. They're going to want me to start all the way from scratch and and win my pro card and bodybuilding also, just to compete as a bodybuilder. So that's too much. Like in the NPC, in the IFBB, when you win your pro card, you can compete as a bodybuilder, a 212, you know, men's physique, men's classic physique, whatever you want to do. So I want to be able to just jump into it. I don't want to have to start from the ground up and try and win all over again and all this other stuff. So that's too much. So for me, I'd rather just, you know, play with the NPC a little bit more and get on that stage. Plus, I felt confident when I did my last show, realizing that I didn't come in last place. That kind of definitely gave me a good ground on where I was coming from and let me know that I wasn't as terrible as I thought I was, so I can actually hang with the big boys. And in addition to that, what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to give myself 3 months to really get ready for the show. I learned a lot about myself last time. I learned a lot about my body, and I realized how lean I actually can get, and I like that look. I like getting lean like that. I just have to do it. I have to do it responsibly, and I have to do it right. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the homeopathic doctor, find out what's going on with my insides, see if they can give me any details on what things can definitely help me to stay lean and to put on size, and what I should and shouldn't do, and if I'm deficient in any certain vitamins and minerals. So I'm going to do that first. I've also been reading a lot about supplements. I've been reading a lot about like old books on like from the 1980s and 90s and stuff like that about supplements, to realize what they were on to back then and how they can still help me now, because as you all know, supplements are the thing now, but back then they weren't really the thing. So they were kind of just on an up and coming wave, but they weren't necessarily like a $1 billion industry like they are now. But at the same time, I still want to kind of know what these guys were doing back in the day, because I liked old school physiques more than I like new school physiques. So what I plan on doing is definitely learning from the old school people, rather than trying to look for these new guys with these new techniques and these new things. So I want to do what they were doing back then to look amazing. The show I'm going to do is probably going to be in July. I'll really take that time to do it right, and to do it slowly, and to do it as the most healthy way possible. I'm going to change up my cardio a little bit. Instead of doing like fasted, well, I'm still do fasted cardio, but instead of doing my cardio on a treadmill and on my little step mill thing that I have in my basement, my little old school step machine, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually drag a sled instead. So I plan on doing it the old-fashioned way. I heard that and what the old guys used to do, or back in the day for bodybuilding, instead of going out doing all that extra cardio and trying to really lean out, and especially since I'm natural and I don't get fat, but I also don't get real lean without doing cardio. So, and without taking out my sugar, of course. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a sled, I'm going to drag it around my backyard. My backyard is probably like a half an acre, so I'll drag it around my backyard. And what I plan on doing is doing that probably 5 days a week with weights on it, probably wearing my weight vest as well, boots on, first thing in the morning, and before I even eat anything, and really doing that. And I think I may start that probably like maybe 2 months out from the show date, just to really get me down, but still have that weight on the sled to keep my muscle on, So that's my plan for my cardio. It's your health and fitness specialist, Kelly Brown, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Again, thanks for watching.